So that happened. Let me tell you all about it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler from Texas. Welcome back to another motor vlog. As you can see here, I broke my phone. I've killed it. It is an X phone. It is dead. It kicked the bucket. You get the idea. Anyway, I filed a claim and I'm getting my new phone sometime tomorrow. I have to take off work for it because, well, I can't really work without my phone due to my job. I need to have a way to communicate with either my driver leader or to the shipper or to the receiver in case need be, but since my phone's broken, I can't really do that. Oh, that was a weird turn. I do have insurance on it, but it still cost me about $200 to get a freaking replacement. So yeah, that hurts. But that kind of what happens when you're not careful and your phone gets run over by a forklift. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually on my way to a car dealership. A few months ago, I did buy a new car. I bought a Kia Optima, and I've been getting these things in the mail regarding my warranty expiring. And I thought that was a little suspicious, so I'm going to them right now to make sure that this is legitimate and not a scam. But something tells me that my suspicions will be correct because they should have took care of that when I bought the car. But while I'm heading over there, let me tell you what happened to my phone. My poor little phone that got killed. Got ran over. Now there's a little bit of a backstory to all this. So, not too long ago, I auditioned for another series, and this is called To Be a Stray Dog. It's being created by Alpha Duck, who is also making Serendipity. And before I go on, let me just say Alpha Duck is a very talented animator. You should definitely follow her. She not only is doing Serendipity and To Be a Stray Dog, but she also done a lot of map parts and even done some parodies of a couple of literatures. One being, what's it called? It's in the top of my head. We all read it in high school. The Crucible, that's right. And she also recently did one of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, I think is what it's called, aka Blade Runner. Both hilarious. Anyway, so I auditioned for that series and I got an email from her saying, hey, you're going to be in a second audition for one particular character. I'm like, oh, sweet. And she explained that yada yada yada, I'll be calling you so you read over the script, and this will help me decide on who will voice this one particular character. And oh my god, my visor is getting foggy. Hang on a second. That's better. I hate when it's cold outside sometimes. Anyway, I'm losing track. So we scheduled the time. I'm supposed to get in call with her. It was on a Saturday at what time was it? 10 p.m. my time. I thought perfect. While I'm still on the road working, I'd still have my phone, which is a really big factor. I could just do it over the phone and then she can make her decision then. So I got that scheduled and Saturday arrived. I got my new load. I'm going all over Texas to various supermarkets to drop off dairy and frozen goods. All sounding good so far. And the day so far was very pleasant. I made my first 2 stops, and then I was on my way to my last stop before I have to go take a back haul from Dallas back to home base. So I got to my last supermarket stop, backed into the dock, went to the receiving area, and in the back of my mind I was just thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this second audition with Alpha Duck? Obviously it has to be done over the phone since, well, I'm away from my house and I have no other way to get internet aside from my phone. I have my laptop in my truck, but for whatever reason my laptop is malfunctioning or something because it cannot pick up Wi-Fi at all. Nor for my phone for that matter, because I could get hotspot from my phone. I digress. I'm thinking about all that, and I had to go into the trailer at the receiving area to lift up those panel doors that separates the dairy and the frozen, keeps the temperature separated, more or less. Because frozen is obviously, well, frozen, while dairy needs to be above freezing. So I had my phone in my side jacket pocket right here. And those panel doors is on a levy system, as in you pull down and it lifts up like this. Start to fog up a little bit. Give me a second. Okay, that will probably help a little bit if I let some air in. Alright. So anyway, when I was pulling up the panel doors, my phone fell out of my pocket. It decided to commit suicide. Goodbye, cruel world! Falls down. I didn't notice it. I just kept lifting up those doors so the workers could get to the pallets to unload all the frozen goods. It was only a couple minutes later when I realized that my phone fell out and I didn't know where it was. So I was panicking a little bit, like, oh God, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? And I got inside of the trailer and there it was. Crushed. It's gone. My precious Galaxy S8 is dead. Okay, seriously, this fog is getting annoying. And it's not really my visor, it's my glasses. So upon realization that my phone broke, I was like, oh no, no, no! What have you done? Okay, that part was a little exaggerated, but still, I was like, oh shit! And the guy who was operating the forklift was like, oh God, I'm so sorry, I didn't see it. And I was quick to say, hey man, look, it's not your fault. It fell out of my pocket. You didn't know. But that was only the beginning of my bad day. So I know my phone is broke, and I was like, okay, how am I going to get in contact with my driver leader? How am I going to get in contact with the shipper if I need to? How am I supposed to get updates from my driving leader if a backhaul got canceled or something? All I have is this thing called a Qualcomm, which is basically a GPS that has email, and it doesn't go directly to my driving leader at home base. It goes to some corporate office in Memphis, Tennessee that, honestly, they wouldn't be able to help me. So, in the back of my head, and then the other thing, of course, was like, oh crap, I have no way of getting hold of Alpha Duck. I'm going to miss the second audition. So, we finished unloading, got back in my truck, I headed to Dallas to do my backhaul back to home base. So I was on Interstate 45 heading north to Dallas, and I'm like, okay, don't panic, let me think about this. How am I going to do this? But I was still a little bit upset and frustrated about the whole deal. I'm like, okay, new plan. Alright, so I won't have to audition over the phone. I have plenty of time to get back to home base, drive back home, and do the audition on my computer. In fact, that'll be a much better way to audition, because I could also record the second audition for her, which apparently she needed anyway. I didn't know it at the time, but I just figured she might want that. So I made it to Dallas, and I'm like, okay, perfect. I made it to the plant. I'll be hauling produce back to home base. I'm plenty early. I can get back with a couple hours to spare. I'll make it back home on time and do that audition. But when I got there, it got kind of interesting. I had never been to this plant before in Dallas. The docks were in a very small parking lot about as big as what you see at a Walgreens or a CVS, one of those pharmacy chains. And there's like 4 or 5 docks and cars everywhere and people everywhere. It was a nightmare. I mean, the parking lot was like this big. Imagine that being full with people walking around, going in and out of the building. I think they were in the middle of a shift change. So I had to park on the street and walk inside of their office. And inside of the office, no one was there other than people walking in and out to get to work at the plant. And I tried asking several people to get somebody up front because it's my first time here and I don't know what to do. Do I sign in? Do I back into a dock? I don't see a dock available. What do I do? And most of the workers, well, doesn't really speak good English. Doesn't speak good English, excuse me. I'm speaking bad English now. But I mean, it's hard to communicate with a lot of them. So it's what would have taken what should have taken about 5 minutes to get everything figured out. I was there for like 30 minutes and I was like, oh God, I'm going to be late. Oh God, I'm going to be late. Not only for my load, but to do that second audition. But they finally told me, hey, your load's not ready until 8 o'clock. I'm like, 8 o'clock? In the back of my mind, it's like, ah, shit, I'm going to be late. Obviously, because the audition's at 10, and I won't even make it back to base at 10. And I still have to drive home with a broken phone. So, what happens after that? Well, Actually, I think I may have made the wrong turn. I may have missed the dealer. But anyway, I'm really close to the dealership. So I got that I need to do. So, well, I clearly missed a turn. It was further down. But whatever. I'll just work my way around and get back to it that way. There we go. Let's go down Pond Woods. Or maybe not. Huh. I guess I got confused with some other road. Well, I guess since I'm not at the dealership yet, let me continue the story. Okay, so I got back in my truck, and I'm sitting, and I'm waiting for them to be ready with my back haul. Now, to tell you exactly what's going on, my truck and my trailer is parked on the street, and my trailer is empty. There's a trailer already in the dock that's being loaded for my back haul, but since I'm super early, it won't be ready for another hour and a half. Now, if they would have been ready right when I arrive, I would have made it back to home base, get off work, drive home, and do that audition. But since that didn't happen, I was just sitting in my truck waiting and speculating, okay, what the hell do I do to get to this audition? And it occurred to me, because I have a lot of disposable income, I remember the last time my phone broke. Now, when my phone broke the last time, it wasn't nearly as bad as the phone I showed you. It just had a chip in the screen, and I had insurance, and they were able to get that fixed and gave me a loaner phone the same day. And I'm like, a loaner phone? That's it! I decided to walk to the hotel that wasn't far from the plant, ask for a cab, and I told the cab to take me to the nearest cell phone store, and they could help me take the phone in, I'll get a loaner phone, and then I'll have a way to audition again. So I'm going back to, okay, I'm going to have to audition over the phone at whatever truck stop I stop at for the night, because I'm not going to make it back in time. Perfect, I thought. Not so fast, because this gets crazy. So a cab arrives, I got in the car, and I told this man, hey, take me to the nearest Sprint store. We drove to the nearest Sprint store in town. When I got there, they said I can't take it. Why? Because I'm not a corporate office. Son of a bitch. Okay. Please tell me where the nearest one is. The corporate one, anyway. I can't believe that there's a difference between a corporate office and a regular building. I mean, I don't know. The other store is bigger. So, the first store told me where the other one is. We got the address. He just told me it's off Cooper and Interstate 20 or whatever. So I told the taxi guy, take me there. So he took me to what we thought was the actual Sprint store. Well, when it turns out they were inside a mall, You know what? I saw the dealership and I realized they've moved. Just further down the street, mind you, but still they moved. So, yeah, I guess technically I was off anyway. So I'm going to head in that direction. It was inside a mall. I'm like, okay, whatever. It was a kiosk. And I walked up awkwardly to the store, the kiosk. I'm like, do you have loaner phones? Do you have loaner phones? And they're like, nope. You want the store across the street. Oh, okay. So we go to the store across the street. When we get to the other store across the street, they say they couldn't take my phone. I have to file a claim over the phone or online, whatever. I'm going to say it'll take a couple of days to get you your new phone, and we can't give you a loaner phone. I argued with them for a few minutes because I have insurance. I thought that was BS, and my insurance does technically cover for it because of how damaged my phone was because it got to the motherboard. They say it's like unsavable. You have to file a claim, yada yada yada. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing, and granted, I was making a little bit of a fuss, but I thought it was a legitimate fuss. And there were a few people kind of watching, staring, like, dude, what is this guy's problem? And trust me, I didn't like explode or anything. I was just a little frustrated. Like, I just didn't understand why they couldn't do it this time when they were able to fix it the last time. And again, granted, the first time it broke, it wasn't nearly as bad as what it is now. Anyway, I gave up. I went out the door and I told the cab driver, just take me back. This isn't worth it. Thank you for your help, but you're not doing anything for me. So he took me back. Ah, there you are. Found it. So I got back to my truck and I waited a few minutes and I decided, oh, what the hell, let me go ahead and check to see if it's ready. So I went inside and I said, and they didn't even ask me who I was. They said, are you such and such store in such and such town? And I'm like, yeah. Dude, we've been trying to get a hold of you for the past like hours. It got ready super early. What? Like, my mind just went, what? Are you serious? I just went over to town for nothing? Of course, I'm like, oh, really? Oh, you see, my phone broke, and I thought since I was, super early, I would try to get it fixed. And said, well, yeah, man, we were in short supply for one of the other loads, so they just canceled it, so we decided to get you going early. Oh, my God. Whatever. So I unhooked the empty trailer, I got the loaded trailer, and I started heading back to home base. I stopped at a truck stop a few stops later thinking, okay, well, maybe if my laptop decides to work again, by some miracle, I could use a truck stop's Wi-Fi and I could do the audition. Nope, couldn't get the internet connection. So, in defeat, with 45 minutes till 10 p.m. I haven't had anything to eat since lunch. I just went straight to bed, wanting to cry. And I got back the next morning. I turned in all of my paperwork. I explained what's going on. They were understanding, so the driver leader let me go home. And here I am, just made the claim, and the phone will come in tomorrow. When I got back home, I sent Alpha Duck an email explaining why I missed it. I told her I was so sorry. Everything just went out of control. And as it turns out, here's the kicker. As it turns out, she didn't even contact me at 10. So it's like, oh, it's no big deal. I didn't even contact you anyway. I was feeling very ill. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, anyway, let me go ahead and talk to these guys at the dealer. And I'll be right back to conclude this story. I knew it! I knew it! They were scams! Or maybe they weren't exactly scams, but it wasn't from that dealer. My warranty is still good. I just wasn't sure because it's the first time ever buying a new car. Anyway, for the record, yeah, love my new car. The Kia Optimas are good cars. They're not too expensive, good gas mileage, big enough for a big guy like me. I'm 6'2", 6'3". Have plenty of headroom, it's nice. But anyway, continue with the story. So yeah, Alpha Duck didn't contact me anyway because she was not feeling so well. So we just agreed to have it done later the same day, and we did it. And yeah, that's about it. Got my second audition in. I had a really good time. And of course, Alpha Duck, you know, whoever you choose, I'm sure you're going to make the right decision, even if it's not me. I lied. There's only one decision. It's me. Make the right decision. I'm going to go this way. I am kind of hungry, though. I'm going to get me some food. I think a really good hamburger sounds nice. Oh, shit. Bright's on. Anyway, I'm going to end this vlog right here. So, yeah, that's what happened to my Samsung Galaxy S8 and the hell I went through. Worrying about absolutely nothing. Maybe what I did was a little bit stupid and unnecessary. I mean, getting a cab, going all over town to get my phone fixed over something that honestly is not needed at all, especially after the fact. But you know what? What's done is done. I learned my lesson. Probably won't go that crazy again. Maybe. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog right here. I'm going to get me some food because I'm hungry. 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 Take care, everybody. But seriously though, pick me. Pick me.